It's possibly the worst offense committed by any student at school. It's evident each and every day to teachers and parents alike, and it's costing all of us enormous expense. It's called underachievement, a young person's act of not living up to his capabilities and potential. I'm Joseph Feinstein, and today we're going to address the problem of underachieving, especially as it exists in our schools. We're joined by a panel of teenagers who, for the most part, have tagged the label of underachiever on themselves. Welcome, panel. Welcome to Teen Talk. What are some of the things you do and don't do which make you call yourself an underachiever? Matt, what do you do or don't do?
Well, I think the most that I don't do is like homework and stuff, because everybody need to do your homework, and you know, you got to do your homework, and it's like, I don't want to do my homework, so.
Yeah, you got to do your homework. I'm not doing my homework.
That's right.
You must do your homework. I'm not going to do my homework. Dana, what do you do or don't do that? I know there was a time when underachieving really stuck to you better than it does now. But when you were doing nothing, why were you doing nothing?
I'm probably basically your classic procrastinator. I will find any way to get around doing something that I don't want to do. And I will never sit down and say, I'm not going to turn this assignment in. But I will say, I'll do this assignment tomorrow during chemistry. And if it doesn't get turned in, it's because it just didn't get done. Not because I didn't want to.
Oh, I see. So good intentions, but the procrastination comes in, and somehow or other the assignment is called for on a Tuesday, and you're ready for it on Wednesday or Thursday or Friday. Okay, I see. How about you, Sean? What's your shtick?
Pretty much the same thing. Don't want to do it when it's time to do it, or it's the day that you have to turn it in, and you're cramming. You're cramming everything together, and you're hoping for the best. And you study every once in a while on this subject. Like if you have a week report, you study on it for a couple minutes every day, you know, reading up on it. And then when the time comes to hand it all in, you cram all the stuff together and hopefully get a good report.
I've watched my crammers all over the place at Grant High School. I've seen cramming done par excellence. What about you? How do you do that stuff, Bill? What's your shtick?
Well, for the most part, I've been kind of labeled as a passive-aggressive, where... A
passive-aggressive underachiever?
Yeah, for the most part, where, you know, I know I have the ability in me, however, sort of to get back at my parents without even knowing so, just subconsciously, not doing things that I say that I'm going to do. You know, I'll tell them, you know, I'll do whatever, but just forget about it.
So in your own way, you're trying to strike back at your parents. Okay. There's a very famous man that some of you may know of, Dr. Linus Picot. He works in the specialty area of underachieving. He's done a lot of work on this, and he says that this is an area, this occurs as a reaction to the fear of the future. A reaction as a fear of the future. Are you afraid of the future, Jim?
Not really. For me, underachieving was like a cycle. You know, at the beginning of the year, okay, this year's going to be different. I'm gonna change. I'm gonna do my stuff. But you know, once you're in a rut and you get the same teacher that hated you last year, and you know, and it's the same.
And that you didn't feel too good about yourself.
You fall into the same cycle, and so it's just a cycle, I think.
I see. And how about for you? Was that fear of the future for you, Jeff?
Yeah, kinda.
In what sense?
I couldn't picture myself going to work like I go to school, getting up and then going to work at 7 o'clock in the morning and working all day long.
Right.
You know, I couldn't imagine doing that.
So somewhere for you it disconnects. It doesn't connect, that there's a tie-in between time and being there and working on time. And what's your story, Roseanne?
Well, just like, wait, I'm nervous.
I understand. Being nervous is a very important part of being on a television show, but I think one of the things you want to do is just remember that we're talking about underachieving, and you know something about that. So what was the reason that you were an underachiever?
Basically, friends,
Mm-hmm.
wanting to go out, me always putting schoolwork on the side.
Okay.
If my friends wanted to go somewhere, I say, no, I got homework to do.
Right.
But, I'd hang up on them on the phone. The next minute I'd call them back and say, hey, I'll do it later.
It's very tempting. It's the lure of all this stuff. This is what Jiminy Cricket, with Pinocchio, and when he's on his way and he's marching away and he's supposed to be doing the right thing, and these two come along, the fox and the other one, and they take him away from. That was what underachieving is about a lot of the time.
Changing priorities.
Changing priorities. That's a good way to put it. Explain.
That you have a certain priority, yet you just put something in front of it. For instance, homework. If you don't want to do your homework, you put something else in front of it.
Mm-hmm.
You'd rather go out with your friends.
Well, they tell us that one of the things that underachievers really need is authority figures. Did you guys need an authority figure telling you exactly what to do, exactly how to do it? You didn't need that, Dana?
No, I think I can understand how many people would need that. For me, it has to come from inside. If I'm going to do something, it's 100% for myself, and I can be proud of something that I've done because of that.
An underachiever is defined as a bright child who appears to have three basic shortcomings. First, they have a need to quit before completing any task. Second, they fail to do things on time. And third, they need to be closely and carefully supervised because they lack the ability to work independently. Are some or all of these problems true of any of you? Matt, how do you feel about that?
Well, first of all, the only one that is true is that I never finish anything on time.
Mm-hmm.
But I do want to say that I do always finish everything.
You do finish everything?
Yeah, if I start something, I'm going to finish it. And if I tell somebody I'm going to do something, I'll do it.
Well, Matt, to be perfectly blunt, you were in my class, and you had a chance to finish a lot of assignments.
Well, see, that's school.
Oh, I see.
I take school separate from life.
Oh, really?
Okay, so
in what sense? How is it separate from life?
Well, see, school kind of prepares you for life, and life is just, you've got to live it. School, you don't see those people very often after you've gone.
Granted, we had each other for 10 weeks in our life, and
right.
then maybe no more times, but except that you're down here right now.
That's true. But what I'm saying is, at my job and things like that, when I tell my boss, yeah, I'll be here, and when I told you I'm going to be here, I'm here. And at school, it's different. When you tell somebody, yeah, I'll turn that in, it's. I don't know how to explain
Why
it.
is there such a transition between what you will do and be responsible for in real life as compared to real school? Why is there such a difference?
Well, I guess it's because my mom and dad put a whole lot of emphasis on school. They said, you're doing this, you're doing that. And they said, make good grades, do good, and all this good stuff. And for me, I guess you could call a rebel type person. When they say, you're going to make good grades, I say, I'll make the grades I want to make. I'm going to do it for me, not for you.
Well, but they're your grades, and it's your schooling, and once again, we come down to that idea of, I'll show you, Mom and Dad, I'm going to get me, and I'm going to hurt me.
Yeah.
Jim, what about for you? What seems to be some of the reasons for your underachieving?
I think it was a lot to do with that. I'll show you, I'll get me thought. Not so much consciously, though, like I said before, there's a rut that you get in, and you fight and fight to get out of it, but you can't, and pretty soon it's back to the old ways.
Did any of you have teachers that you would never imagine yourself doing any underachieving for? The teachers that you really worked for and that you showed that you could do the work for? Did you do that, Dana?
Absolutely.
What kind of a teacher do you need?
A teacher that believes in you, a teacher that gives you a chance from the very beginning, that starts you off with a lot of respect, and if you lose that respect, then you lose it, but a teacher that will basically give you that from the very beginning.
I see. Do you have a particularly favorite type of teacher, Jeff?
No, I like to work and do my work for me, and if they like the work I do, that's good, and I get a good grade. But if I'm writing a story or an essay or something, I'll write it, how I want to write it, and not to to make it so I get a good grade.
What grade in high school are you now?
11th.
11th. What kind of grades do you normally get?
Right now I've gotten a lot better since I got my car for insurance reasons and stuff.
Oh, really?
But right now I'm getting a B average.
Really?
3.1.
Well, that's pretty
But
good.
before, math's my hard subject, and I just, you know, I get F's in math sometimes.
F's in math. Well, welcome to the club. We know about things like that. What about you, Roseanne? How does it work for you? What do you think are the main reasons that you've not wanted to do the work, or that you've not shown good work?
A particular teacher.
Yeah.
Not showing that he really cares. Not paying much attention. You know, not believing in you at all. You know, I don't like that at all. Or else, if he doesn't believe in me, I don't believe in him, and you know, I won't do good in work.
Is there some part of you that has to overcome those teachers who are negative and those teachers who are not exactly spontaneous, and that you're going to say it doesn't matter, it's my grade, and I've got to get into college, therefore I'm going to study and I'm going to work hard?
If I have to prove it to somebody, I basically, I like a teacher who shows so much trust in me, you know, that believes in me, because there is one particular teacher who, you know, who is great to me, that I absolutely love, and, you know, I get good grades in her class because I know she listens to me, you know, she teaches me good, and
Who's that?
that's Mrs. Kortenbach.
Mrs. Kortenbach.
Yeah.
Very nice. Well, we'll say some nice prayers for Ms. Kortenbach and the fact that she's been effective for you. Each teacher works in a different way. How about your parents? What do your parents do that's plus? What do your parents do that's minus? Bill?
Plus, well, when I do something good, I guess is the only word I could use, they will reward me for it just by recognition of it. Bad thing is that they pressure too much, and I'm the type of person that I have to do it for myself, not for anybody else. And if I'm going to do it for anybody else, why do it? So I've learned to you know, how to handle that and how to get around it and still do it for myself.
Panel, what are you doing to change your underachieving patterns? Sean?
I don't think that you have to go through a treatment to break out of the underachievement. I think it has to happen to you. I mean, something has to happen to you where you can't get what you want. If, like in my case, I couldn't play soccer because I had too many Fs.
Oh, so the C average requirement was holding you back from soccer. Yeah.
Right.
And then what?
And so I said, well, you know, it's time to get myself in gear here and start getting better grades.
Terrific.
So I started picking up my grades. And
Okay, so soccer and being on the soccer team was an important ingredient in your getting better. Right. Okay, good. Jim, what was helpful for you?
I think when I came to a point where I realized that I was underachieving for numerous reasons, and from there things started to fall into place, but I think the thing that keeps me from going back to that is the fear of being a failure again, you know, being the way that I was, because I look back and that's horrible to me.
I hear you saying I did not like the person I was, and I'm not going to fall back into that old pattern.
Exactly. Yeah.
I see. Okay. Roseanne, what did you discover?
Well, in junior high school, I was not a good student. Then when I finally got to high school, I realized that, you know, I have 3 years left in. I'm graduating and I got to go on. And since now that I'm a senior and I'm graduating,
right,
I've just, you know, I've realized that I got to get good grades, you know, to go into a decent school next year. So I basically, you know, I do my homework now, you know. I'm having a good time. I'm, you know, going out and I'm having a good time.
I love when the light bulb flicks on. I love when all of a sudden you're doing certain things that are not paying off for you, and all of a sudden you realize that, hey, if I keep this going this way, it's still not going to pay off for me. So I better do some changing. And that's what you're
exactly
talking
what
about.
I
I got to do some changing. The most important missing ingredient in many underachievers' lives appears to be this whole question of self-esteem. We always seem to find that kids who are underachieving are not particularly high on self-esteem. Is that true of you? Is that true of you, Matt?
I don't think so.
Uh-huh.
I don't know exactly what self-esteem is, but I feel that I have self-confidence.
You do?
That's about the same thing.
Then what is it about you that said that it would be all right to fail this class or to get a D in that class? When I know you've got the smarts.
Well, see, first of all, you know, we're going to be blunt. Your class is the first class I've ever failed in my life.
Really?
Yeah, I've always gotten A's and B's, but without doing my homework, you know. I feel that schoolwork is at school.
Do you think some of it has to do with the fact that you're away from home?
No, because that's only been in the past 2 years, and I've made A's and B's almost all my life.
All your life?
Yeah, it's just this year when I moved out here to California, I started getting C's and D's because, you know, I didn't have any friends, and it was just me and my friend, and we were talking, you know, and I mean, I have to have people I can talk to.
Right, right.
So
Have you been missing that at Grant High School?
It's starting to get better now that I've been there. I have quite a few more friends.
Oh,
now.
good. Because you're a very friendly guy, and you're a very outgoing kind of guy. I mean, that's the way I see you. That's the way I see it to be. What about you, Bill? What are some of the questions? Did you have any questions of self-esteem?
Yeah, as a matter of fact, I did.
Mm-hmm.
Not really. I didn't really have any real set goal in my mind, long term or short term. I would have maybe a few goals, but I wouldn't really have the steps on how to make it to those goals. And once I would try and I wouldn't succeed, then I just get really exasperated, and I'd get very upset with myself. And you know, my parents didn't help out a whole lot at certain points.
Yeah.
And
Very often they give up too.
Yeah.
I mean, when they see you giving up, it's only normal for them to lose enthusiasm and excitement about you too.
The parents sort of consider themselves as failures as parents.
Right, right. And then they start blaming themselves, and they do a mea culpa, and oh, woe is me, and I've been really, you know, messing up. Let me ask you this. I want you to fill in the blanks, okay? I'm going to give you a sentence, and I'd like you to complete the sentence in your own incredible way. All right, here we go. The sentence is, I can best defeat underachievement by, Dana?
Oh, goodness. I guess really isolating my schoolwork away from everything else.
Okay. I can best defeat underachievement by, Sean? Just say whatever comes into your mind.
Think about what's going to happen if I don't do my work.
Okay. I can best defeat underachievement by
Probably just doing my homework.
probably just doing my homework, that's all. I think it's about as simple as all that too.
Yeah.
I can best defeat underachievement by, Jim?
Just remembering how horrible things were when I was at a low point, you know, underachieving.
Mm-hmm. And how about you, Jeff? I can best defeat underachievement by?
Remembering like suffering the consequences of doing bad, and getting bad grades, and worrying about not getting to college or graduating.
And I can best defeat underachievement by, Roseanne?
Well, knowing that I'm growing up and I need to change, and I will do it.
In the high-stakes game of underachievement, there is no greater weapon than building a child's self-confidence and self-esteem. Studies have shown that by providing the child with a series of tasks he or she can complete successfully, even greater achievements follow naturally. Other research has shown a direct relationship between the amount and quality of time the father spends with the young child and success in later life.